So far, the crew has cleared every hurdle naysayers have placed in their way. Columbus would be home to one of the 10 inaugural teams. Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans.
Well, it's going out. And don't you know we're gonna scream.
Hello and welcome to the club. I'm your host Mars, and this is the Upper 90 Club, a roundtable podcast where friends discuss the Columbus Crew. On this episode, we talk some personnel changes. There were many. We reviewed the game against Club Murica from a couple days ago. We're going to get a Crew 2 update, and then we're going to go through our predictions, both results from last week, and our predictions for the next match in the Leagues Cup on Friday against Minnesota. With me in the club, I have Ben, Trey, and Haas. Mort is toiling away. I imagine he has one of those.
No, he got traded to Saudi Arabia.
See ya.
Yeah.
He's gonna burn. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Man?
He made a lot of money.
He's just gonna be a big blister and
more money is what he said.
He's gonna be podcasting alone. Yes, for
with a
for
golden mic.
undisclosed sum. Yes. So yeah, let's jump into this here, guys. The big news on the Crew front, and I think, typically we would save personnel talk for later in the show, but this is pretty significant. Lucas has been shipped to Saudi Arabia. We assume he'll still be playing soccer there.
He got a job in IT. He's working for Boeing over there. That would be insane.
But I don't know. This is pretty surprising. We've kind of talked about the prospect of this kind of thing, but I think we all came to the conclusion
there's no way.
Retirement team will get it. Maybe he'll go.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll.
Don't listen to our pod 2 times ago. It's
Yeah.
He's getting buried at the stadium. There's no way he's leaving. He loves us.
Yeah. So I don't know what I guess I just kind of want to spend a little time talking about it. I mean, I'm sure everyone knows this by now, but Haas, do you have nitty gritties on this, and then we can talk through our reactions.
I got a couple notes, I guess, and everyone else is welcome to add. But I mean, he was transferred to Al Fatah. No idea if I'm saying that right, of the Saudi Pro League.
Doesn't matter.
He just turned 31 in June. He had a contract with the Crew through the 2024 season. I've heard mixed things about how much we're getting for him and how much. I mean, it sounds like it's a pay increase for him. Money to him. I think the transfer fee is less than what we got for Zach Steffen when we sold him. That is still the club record transfer fee. I saw some stuff about how we paid $8 million for Lucas and we sold him for around $7 million.
Supposedly.
Those are
Yes.
those are transactional. That's club to club payments, right?
Yeah, total.
So it's not really related to his salary, right?
Correct. Transfer fee.
Yeah,
Got it.
And yeah, those are the kind of the little notes I had written down.
I think I kind of heard the same thing, right? I roughly said, after all said and done, 7. I just want to say, to the end of the road, it's unnatural. We belong to you.
Well, I want to talk about unnatural. That's an interesting point, Ben, because no, I had thoughts on this because this was not out of complete left field, right? There were rumors of this a few days before it came
I would
about.
say,
We were
I would say over a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were sitting around talking about it here at home and just kind of questioning what the team's culture is and what the face of the team. I mean, I know that he's not the captain, but really there's a lot of stock put in this guy. And I mean, I haven't been to many games recently because I'm out of town, but I would imagine that the jerseys that the kids are wearing have his name and number on them. I don't know. It seems surprising to do such a drastic culture and brand shift mid season unless there was some discord in the locker room or something. I don't know. I mean, it seems surprising and that it would be made purely financially, but
and that's why I'm hoping that number that actually eventually will come out is a lot higher than the $8 million that Stefan received, or that we received for Stefan, because it would be a lot easier to stomach to hear that we had received 12 to 15 million, something, exponentially higher, or if his salary was going to be 3 times what it was at Crew. Because you can't blame the guy if he's like, yeah, man, like, I don't want to go, but I'm at the end of my career and I'm going to make $4 million a year versus 1 point whatever he's making here. It doesn't, I mean, it's still a gut punch, but.
And I think his plan was next season, after he finished his contract with the Crew, he was going to go back to Argentina, was his hopes anyway. So we would have lost out on money if we waited till next year.
And that's the biggest thing about it, is that, like, I'm not happy because we had a good thing going, especially this season.
Yeah.
Playoff contention, him playing really well. But we were also talking 2 weeks ago about how he wasn't playing phenomenal. And then he turned it around in 2 games, and he's been playing really well. And, like, that's kind of how he is. And, like, the good and the bad, it's I don't want to get rid of the guy. Wasn't shopping him. But if we're able to recoup our entire investment.
Even with lackluster gameplay at times, this guy brought something to this team that I have seen in no other player, which is that his set piece ability is it is a game changer, especially
literally
when you need the goals, right? There was that, I think it was a New York game where he scored 2 set pieces and like won the game. This maybe was last year, maybe at the tail end of this season.
Well, I mean,
before.
even the Chicago game that you were at this year.
Yeah, the midfield.
The midfield, at the end of the game in stoppage time, the man is just dangerous.
Magic.
Yeah.
It's just magic. He has that.
And really, like, has the ability to make the team seem like they have 12 on the field kind of deal. Where it's like, I don't know. I just think that he's really got something special. I have so enjoyed watching him. That game we watched against, I think it was St. Louis last week, where he just drained that set piece. They were all helter skelter, and he just like. Mm-hmm. He's kind of shrugged his shoulders and put it in the back of the
man
net
of the match.
They weren't prepared.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing what the club's vision is for moving forward, but it would be hard for me to believe that that they're going to capture the same kind of feel that we got from a player like Lucas, and I'm seeing him out there.
I think.
Time.
The locker room loved him. Like, I think he was a big, like, the team, all the players, like, loved him. So saw some kind of teary eyes at the game Monday night.
Every goal, they just turned around and pointed at him, and I was like, oh my God.
And they were doing the Dragon Ball Z celebration and stuff for him.
Yeah.
I think it was on Massive Report I had read that he had been involved in 40% of Crew finishes this year, whether it was a goal or an assist.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's
the season where we have scored
more
than any other team.
Yeah, that the caveat is we're scoring a ton of goals. It's not like Chicago where it's like we have 7 goals this year.
Well, and I think the biggest thing moving forward is, what are they going to do? We've heard rumors of Diego Rossi. We've heard, some other things being thrown out there. It's got to be that level of player. It's got to be a 12, 15, 18, goal scorer per year type of player. Like, it's not okay to go out and poach another Christian Ramirez. And I have no issue with the Christian, but it's just not the same. So you need to take this money, you need to take this investment and go out there and spend it. And then we won't be pissed as a fan base. But if we sit on this money, get ready for it.
It was announced Monday, the 31st of July, The transfer window closes Wednesday, August the 2nd. We are recording 10 p.m. the 1st. No announcements have been made as to anything official happening. So it is a little bit scary that they don't get the deal done.
Why did I not know that?
Then we have a big gap to fill. And I don't, while Matan, we're not getting into the details of the game yet, like he would be the one expected, I think, to step into that role. He's not, it's not the same.
No.
We have really good players. We have good players, but they're not, if it's tied and there's 5 minutes left, if Lucas is on the field, I'm hopeful. I'm like, I got it. We got it. Like, it's fine. He's going to do something, and he has. And it's like, now I was like,
Well, I think there's also shouts that he didn't necessarily fit into Nancy's system. And he kind of was the odd man out with the formation that we're playing. But yet he would still come in and make those impact plays and and he would just be him. And, so.
He just said he's involved in 40% of the goals.
Right.
In
but
this
he's not the type
record-setting campaign.
Right. He's not the type of player that typically would play in this system. But, I mean, that speaks to his ability. That speaks to how great he has been, is that comes into a system that he's not tailored for and just still can produce and produce and produce, which is great, and he'll go to Saudi Arabia, he'll make the money, and they're currently in 7th place, so God bless him.
Well, and one of Nancy's big things is having players that can play multiple positions, so I think he proved over time, like especially this year, that he can, Cucho would drift out to the wing, he would fill in. I mean, it's really a rotating front three that we've been playing with. No one stuck in any specific position. So,
yeah. I mean, I think like the Crew fan base and our hearts kind of hurt a bunch, but after sleeping on it and relaxing and taking a look at it, it's like, well, if we're able to make that money and flip it for a younger striker who makes a huge impact, it allows him, basically this transfer could pay for that guy plus, like Gressel and Camacho, who he just brought in. Like if they're able to take that money and reuse it, and he was going to leave after next year, after the result we just had,
I hope there's enough leadership in the locker room. He wasn't, like I said, he wasn't the captain. He's not the oldest guy on the team, but he certainly seemed to carry a leadership mantle. Losing Mensa, we talked about that, like a gap being left with him leaving. I'm more concerned with the cultural impact of the team. And maybe he was just not filling that role as much as I perceive. And this is Nancy's team, and they're looking to him for the leadership. And we'll stitch together a team that can put up 4
against one of the best teams we'll ever play.
A really formidable team.
Yeah.
I think that there's some of that. We've talked about this before. I always try to articulate it. I don't know that I do a great job of it, but that 4-1 game certainly had the same kind of scrappy, do with it what you got kind of vibe as like coming back with a man down kind of thing. We'll see how this team performs when the dust settles. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it was pretty raw for everyone who's playing out there, and those are factors that are hard to measure. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Hey, can I throw a question out to you guys real quick? Which player that should have retired for the Crew hurts the most? McBride, Skeletto, Hayduk, Lucas, or Higuain?
What do you mean? Like
all these players should have retired as Crew players.
Mm-hmm. Technically, Higuain did, but that's not a real. He wasn't.
I mean, like actually played their last game.
Okay, so Higuain
went to Miami.
He went to DC.
He went to DC.
then Miami when his brother joined, right?
Right.
And then
Which I give that a
Schelotto
pass.
went to Boca Juniors.
I believe no, he went
Or-
somewhere else.
I thought he went to Argentina, but
He
River Plate?
Gimnasia La Plata,
okay.
Is that in
I'm
Argentina?
sorry,
which
came
is where
from
he
Boca
started
Juniors.
from.
Okay. I have less
Yeah,
of an
he-
issue with that.
Yeah, and he
Going
didn't
to another
join-
MLS team is like,
I don't know. So Trey, I was thinking about this. I think that the homegrown type guy, like a McBride type deal, where I mean, I know he
was-
didn't start in Columbus, but he was like,
Our first draft pick.
right.
Yeah.
And so like I think he's got some pretty strong Columbus
where did
ties.
Hayden go? Why am I blanking?
Galaxy.
He went to Galaxy, but he was from. Didn't he?
I think he's a California boy.
He's
yeah.
a Southern
Yeah.
California kid, but he
Look
never
at him.
played.
He's from California.
He never played
I
for
wish
Galaxy.
they all-
Like
Yeah.
we traded him.
Don't do that.
there. So it was just a thought experiment, of all the people. I mean, McBride, we actually got a lot of money for at the time. I think it was 1.5. But then he came back and went to Chicago. And this is somebody that we revel as, this is our guy. This is Brian McBride. He's a crew legend.
I mean, did any of the others leave mid-season when we're like making such a strong
Yeah.
push for the playoffs and like
It's awkward
playing
timing.
maybe the best soccer that the Crew has ever played?
100%.
The only other person I think that you could even shout that out is McBride. And it wasn't mid-season. It just was kind of like a tumultuous, he was going to come back, but then he didn't, and then they transferred. But no,
That was the
nothing-
90s.
I was
nothing
kinda
close
bummed.
to
I was
nothing
kind of
close
bummed
to
when Will Trapp went to
Minnesota.
Miami. Oh, he went to Minnesota first?
Yeah.
God, we
And now
talked
he's
about
back
this
there.
2 weeks ago.
Miami soda.
Miami soda.
Well, and then he was in Miami for some time.
I would also say, I'd also shout Santos. I was bummed because he went to another MLS team. He went to DC. I still follow him. I love that guy. And I honestly think he would have been awesome in the system. As a
No,
I mean-
Mark, you're correct. I apologize. Yeah, he went to Inter Miami, played 21 games, and then Minnesota.
yeah, that's
and
what I
he
thought.
fizzled.
Yes,
That's what,
yeah.
yeah, it was a bummer because he left during that whole like pre-court. What's going to happen here?
Mhm.
This team's getting shaken up. Him and Miram, I think, dipped around the same. Miram went to.
That's a real bummer.
I can't
RSL.
remember how you feel about Miram.
Coke
No, he
Coke.
didn't. No,
He's
he
kind of
went
a
somewhere
journeyman,
else.
though. He's
But
been to
anyway,
a bunch of different teams.
Yeah, but like at that time we had like the
And he
Finley,
winked at Trey's wife.
Will Trapp,
Orlando City.
or he went. Yes, that's
Orlando.
right. He went to
he
Orlando,
went to Orlando.
and then he came back.
to us. Yep.
Yeah.
Then Atlanta.
Well, anyway,
Real.
I
Yep.
I had the same kind of feeling where it was like, man, Will
Trapp's a
Trapp being the
homegrown.
homegrown.
Yeah, he's Gehenna.
That was tough. But and then he didn't really flourish either, right? Like he was doing really well in Columbus. I think he might have even had a cap or two with the U.S. men's national team
did.
around that
Yeah.
time, and then he went to Miami, and it was just kind of like not
Yeah.
flourishing, and then ended
Miami's
up leaving.
terrible
Yeah.
too.
Well, and
Anyway,
Tony Chani.
Ben, you mentioned the timing being weird. While it is weird for us, I don't think it's weird for the rest of the world who is
Right.
in their off season.
Right.
And this
They're
is like
about to
their
kick off,
primary
right?
transfer
Yeah.
window right now. And
Yeah.
this is when teams are offering money that they might not offer when the MLS is over and they're in midseason.
Yeah.
But we're America, and our time's the best. That's what I say. I'm gonna do push-ups,
And
shoot a shotgun.
do you
Fireworks.
think that maybe him playing for Armenia, and I've seen other things about maybe the availability of MLS now with Apple TV, maybe put him on the radar to allowed other teams to see more of him as
Are
opposed
you taking
to if he was
shots
just
at
playing
Apple?
for the Crew?
they will?
No, I'm
will
saying that it
pull us
gave
down.
more viewership around the world for teams to scout.
Yeah, I think you've got a good point there. I mean, I think the exposure of MLS in general is, especially with Messi coming,
Yep.
that was an exponential growth.
Yeah.
Apple was an exponential growth. Yeah, I mean, I think him doing the things that he's been doing, the Chicago game, hitting the goal in stoppage time from half field, that's the kind of stuff that explodes and goes viral across the world, and people go, "Hey, who's this guy?
Yeah.
Hey, can we get that guy?" So yeah, I mean, I think it all plays into it. I just hope that we get to find out what the transfer fee is, and we're not all just pulling our hair out that it was a lot lower. If
Yeah.
it's exponentially higher, and we can all just go, all right, man, cool.
Moneyball. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's 7 and we wake up tomorrow and it's closed and we don't have somebody, like somebody's got some explaining
That hurts.
to do.
Yeah.
That's not losing Lucas. So we can roll on, and we just gonna do personnel and then get into the game after the break. Or whatever.
Yeah, let's roll through the rest.
Same day announcement.
We got Camacho.
Rudy Camacho from CF Montreal. He is 32, and we sent 200,000 in GAM this year, and we'll send another 200,000 in GAM next year
So
to
free.
Montreal.
Got it.
He's occupying an international roster spot. I think one of the best things about him coming here is he played with Nancy. He played 59 matches under him, and for 3 seasons prior to that, when Nancy wasn't the head coach, he was still working with him.
Interesting.
in IT
So-
or
He was in the coaching staff, but not the head coach. So he was working with him. I just think he more so even than Chiberko, who I thought has looked good in the limited time he's had. I think he's going to be able to step in and play immediately.
And Gressel looked really, really good last night
Oh
too.
yeah, he did.
He did.
oh yeah, that dude looks tough.
He's ready
also-
to play. He's
He looks
He's a lot
put
bigger
together,
than I
man.
thought he was.
yeah.
When we're talking locker room presence, I think he is a good locker room guy to bring in.
After the goal and stuff, they just point at him and run over to him and like hold him up after like the goal. So it's like, yeah, Gressel's
He looks
good,
like he
man.
can
Especially
hold the whole team up. He's got a bench.
Speaking
press
of
in the
push-ups.
basement. he's got a bench press.
and President Camacho. I mean, we're gonna call him President Camacho, right? Like that's gonna be idiocracy. Okay, Camacho's good. Camacho is
I
a
wanted
great.
to like that movie, but I'd
I've never
probably need
seen
to
it.
rewatch it.
That's one of the ones where like I never make
It
it through
is-
the whole thing.
It's
We're talking
one
about
of my-
Idiocracy, and the president's name is Camacho.
Yeah,
So-
and it's
Ben-
Terry Crews.
Ben made a joke in the text thread, and
oh,
it was a
everyone
good
saw
joke.
it. No one
now
saw
we're
it.
now
It
we're
was super
belaboring
flat.
it.
Yeah.
And I've heard, or I saw with Gressel, he's already in negotiations to extend his contract with the Crew because I think he's just on through the end of the season currently.
He liked the way that things felt last night.
Don't say that. Don't say it like that. I won't cut it,
game.
but I don't like that.
That's your deal. That's
Yeah.
your deal.
So-
I mean, like,
And did you hear
that ball really penetrated really
No,
nicely
no, that-
between
no, that-
the
all right.
two of them.
all right,
so-
you mentioned Diego
in.
Rossi. He's currently playing for Fibonacci. So let's see
Quite the
kind
sequence.
of sequence.
Oh man,
I was like, you butchered that.
how you like that,
But you
nerds?
didn't.
And
it's
I
gonna have
think-
to
are
be
they
quite a
pronounced-
sequence to get him on the team.
Yes.
And did you see?
In time.
They were saying his name last night as not Chaburko, but Shaburk, and not pronouncing the O.
I
I
thought
mean,
they were
everybody-
saying Chavez.
they were
or
saying
Chavez.
Chiba. They
Yeah,
want to
like
be called,
yeah, it was like
Chiba?
Chiba. Yeah, they kept like
they said he wants to go by that.
Yeah, he wants to go by that.
Chiba.
Or Chiva or Chera.
Chiba's USA.
Chiba makes sense.
Chiba? Isn't that slang for
Help.
okay? Well,
Somebody help.
Somebody
Yeah.
help.
slide
Get
into our
him on the show.
DMs.
Can we get him on the show?
Yeah.
What we know is that his name is something like Chiberko. He wants to be called something shorter than Chiberko. We're definitely going to figure it out. We're going to debut a new segment soon called Pronunciations. We'll get it all figured out. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we will jump into the reaction to the Murica game.
This episode of the Upper 90 Club is brought to you, as always, by Supporter Supply Company. Hi, friends, this is your good pal Morgan Hughes, here to talk to you about a serious issue facing 96% of all crew supporters in Columbus. Why, not enough free shipping, of course. For a limited time now, through the eventual heat death of the universe, Upper 90 Club listeners can use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z on the end of it, at checkout for free delivery on absolutely any order over $10. But Morgan, what if I order $10 worth of stickers, or those goddamned buttons, or some other combination of small items that make you want to kill yourself? Will the free shipping still apply then, even as you curse our family, while you package up our little tiny annoying ass order for us? Of course it will. That's just how much we here at Supporter Supply value our friends at the Upper 90 Club. So head on over to supportersupply.co and use the promo code Upper90Boys, that's boys with a Z, at checkout for free shipping on all your orders over $10. And don't forget to tell them that your friends at the Upper 90 Club sent ya.
And we're back. Let's jump right into the Club America game we played away at lower.com just a couple days ago. Hawes, what were the lineups?
For the crew, we had Cucho, Ramirez, and Matan up top. Yaboa, Morris, Nagby, and Farsi. Amundsen, Zawadzki, and Morera in the back, and Schulte in goal. So our new classic lineup.
Yes.
With Zellerand replaced.
Okay.
We
All right.
will miss you.
Yeah, so just really like a like for like Matan and for Zellerand. Any
Said no one.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, as best we can.
They put everything else was kind of the same, but where has he been? Did we ever figure out?
Matan has been MIA.
I actually
for the past
don't know. Again, slide into the
multiple
DMs.
weeks.
It actually was good to see him back. I was around my phone, which I wasn't. I was going to do that sweet GIF.
Do you think he played well, Ben?
At the end of the game, by the time he came off the field, yes, I'm okay with it. There was some passes.
His jog
in
to
there.
the sideline was
Once he did it, I
excellent.
crossed his name off the sheet and then put lipstick on.
I felt like he was not playing well at the beginning of that game, man.
I don't think.
Maybe
yeah.
no
Let's
one
get into
was,
the game. So I think it was weird. So I rewatched the first half because I texted out. At the end of the game, I was like, "Wow, I don't think the first half. I thought we got smoked." But after rewatching it, we did not. We actually played
back and forth
pretty well. We did not have the possession. At one point, I think we saw 60-30 possession right before their first goal or right after their first goal. I was like, oh boy, 60-30, and then 10% is
the ref.
Yeah. Was the Boys to Men song. It's a natural. Math stuff. But
60-30.
60-30. 10 ones of the aliens that are real. So yeah, he had some like pretty bad misplays passes. I think I counted 4 that were like right to the other team in our final third.
Yeah,
like pretty brutal. I felt like we did struggle to get out there. High press was getting at us, but it wasn't as bad on second viewing. But those specific, he had 2 passes right in a row.
You knew it didn't matter.
Yeah, I was too busy smiling and also crying. Sad and happy tears.
Dude, he flops. He's got to cut that out of his game.
I think he got. Are you talking about the one in the box?
Yeah,
later.
It was a flop, pure flop.
I felt like he. I wasn't a foul. I would never have called it like not a foul at all. But I don't think it was just like a dive. I mean, he didn't get carded or anything like that. He's a little guy.
And then later when he got fouled and he was down on the field for like 5 minutes and watching the replay of it since I was at the game.
It seemed
I
like
couldn't tell at the game, but it seemed like he barely got touched and he was acting like his ankle came
probably gamesmanship. Yeah.
No. He twisted his ankle when he came down.
It was weird.
That's what it was.
Okay.
It was weird.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the player. When he came down, he stepped and it tweaked it a little bit.
It was awkward, like that whole sequence with him right there. So
no, it was twisted the ankle, not a contact injury.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. But ultimately, I think at the end of the game, he grew into the game and he ended up doing really well. He had a couple. I mean, the miss. Right around what minute was that? Does anybody have the minute tag or whatever? But
No,
that
it
miss
was
that
early.
came on, that entire sequence was disgusting. Like it was
17th minute.
awesome. Yeah, it was right after. I think Cucho hit the post. I mean, we were on the.
That was
the,
earlier. Yeah,
Yeah.
like 9th minute or something.
So the
yeah.
ball that came across, he put himself in that position. It was a awesome ball by Farsi, and
Cucho plays Farsi through, and
that
that was
ball
after
was
some weird
insane.
sequence in the middle. But it's
Yeah.
such a good pass to Farsi. Farsi's pass was fantastic to
It was.
Matan at the penalty spot, and he's just like leaning back as he takes
Well,
the
Seems like
shot.
the ball
leaned
popped
back.
up.
It did. It
Yeah, okay,
did.
the
There
ball
was
popped
just
up.
a little titch of space I saw, but he didn't score it.
yeah. And the first thing the commentators
Messi
were like,
scored,
if it was
Messi
Zilla,
scored
yeah.
that ball that bounced off the post back at him, that would have been harder to field. I mean, that's all I was thinking. Like that.
Same height.
Yeah, and like just you got to be able to just get your body over the ball, no matter if it's on the ground or not. That was a buzzkill for sure, especially after that Cucho shot on the post too.
7th
It was
minute, yeah.
incredible.
That was a
The-
great
the
shot.
angle that they had on that in the broadcast was just perfect. You could see the path, and it just didn't make it.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
little-
It was still
little too
kind of
far.
rising, yeah. I think when I was watching the game, knowing what just happened with the trade, I kept my eye on him like a lot of the game, and also I kind of was trying to figure out how are we going to move forward without a playmaker? Like who's going to step up? And that first half, there wasn't anybody that was doing any outstanding playmaking things. Like Matan was doing Matan things. We just don't have a replacement. Like there wasn't.
Yeah.
I felt like that wasn't it. And then on rewatch, I was like, okay. To Trey's
Cucho.
point earlier, yeah. Cucho stepped up
Yeah.
huge this game, especially the second half. But in the first half, I was like, it just kind of hurt because there was no. It didn't seem like there was an outlet to. Once we got it up there, we were playing it up to feet for Ramirez, and he was either just laying it off or trying to do something, and there just wasn't that creativity. And I was very nervous. Again, upon rewatch, it's not as bad.
I
But,
was so nervous in the stadium.
oh
Like,
yeah, okay. And I feel like a lot of the people watching that understood the severity of what was going on. I'm not sure that even Club America fans quite knew, like how, like what exactly it like
gutted
the
everyone
person
was.
the person that we lost. They're just like,
Speaking of Club
be like,
America fans, you guys. So Haas was at the game. Mort was at the game.
yes.
You, Ben, and Trey, you guys watched at home, right?
Correct.
You hear how those commentators kept saying like a lot of America fans from down in Chicago, and
why were they
came
saying
up
that?
here.
And why were they saying
It was-
down in Chicago?
It's like,
Were they looking at a map
Where-
upside down? Like,
where
oh.
are you? Where are you? Where are you from? Have you ever been here? Have you ever been there? Do you know who these people are? It was like total blindfold geography.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they came
Uh,
through
that
the
was-
center of the earth to Columbus as
So
one
There
what was-
were
from
a
Chicago.
ton of America fans.
that's what I was going to
there.
ask you. Yeah. So what was
I would
it,
say-
50-50? Was it 60-30?
I would say closer to 60-30.
That's such a good joke.
I'll go 65-35.
Okay.
And 10 was the ref.
Yeah. It was a weekday game.
Yeah. Who cares?
So, I don't think the Crew had a shot on goal until the 37th minute.
Ouch.
Shot on target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I think what that means.
And Schulte was playing out of his mind.
Isn't it?
He was
Shot on
killing
goal.
it.
I think we need to talk about that for a quick second because that I wanted.
Schulte played really well until the one shot that really challenged him from
Yeah.
Alvarez.
All right. Hold on. And
Do we wanna
again,
go through that?
total fake stat. Yeah. But what was their XG? Why do I not see their XG? I don't have the stats in front of me. Their XG had to have been at least 2, right? I mean, there was probably 4 opportunities that he stopped. Like the one in the very beginning of the game was awesome. There was another diving one akin to the one they scored that he saved. Like he absolutely kept us in that game.
Yeah.
I don't think they do XG for Leagues Cup.
He has
Why
been
did they
playing. He
not
played
do that?
up to the level that he's been playing this year,
Yeah.
which is why we were able to send Room back to whatever
VHS.
European country.
Netherlands.
Yes.
Chicago in Europe, south of
Send
us.
him back down to Chicago.
Send him back
Down to Chicago.
back down to Europe.
I don't know why they kept saying that. One last thing about the fans, I did want to say that they showed, it looked like there was a lot of Club America fans, but in the actual section when they shot to it, there was crew fans and crew gear in that section.
Cheering
Yeah.
for Club America.
Well,
That is the away team section.
I
Only
mean-
so they're probably fans in Columbus, and that's their
brainwashed.
first team that they root for.
No, I mean one of the families that that my wife plays women's league with. I know they bought like 12 tickets, and they're huge Club America fans. So yeah, I mean, hey, it is what
Sweet.
it is. It's the
Great.
equivalent of
Yes.
the Yankees, Manchester United, Dallas Cowboys, whatever.
mm-hmm.
Throw it out there. They're going to draw well. But like we had talked to Ivan from the Eagle Eye podcast, and you can also find that on their live stream, Twitter.
Did not realize it was live when Trey and I went on, and we were very shocked when they had an entire intro and it flashed to us. And if you see my face, I'm like, oh no, I didn't realize this was live. Oh, boy.
It is. They are huge around the world, especially on the North American continent. So they travel well. They provide good numbers, but that's good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good to have a
good
team
sport.
like that come in here and wipe the floor with them, to walk away with the 4-1 win and to dominate the second half, take the game and just hand it back to them. Like, all right, dude.
So Hawes, talk through that
And they
first
were
goal,
pissed.
and then
29th minute, Alvarez scores for America. They have a free kick from the left side due to a Cucho foul. They play I say quickly, they play it quickly, but it wasn't that quickly. It just seemed like the crew defense completely fell asleep. So it was quick in the fact that the crew didn't react to them playing the ball across the box. Alvarez is making a run. I think he's their right back.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of comes up during the free kick. They play it to him. He shoots with his right foot low and hard at Schulte, and he just can't handle it, and it gets by him.
Yeah, a couple of things here. I don't think it was a shot. I think he was trying to shoot it across the goal because people were running in, and it just so happened that he struck it that well because he looked shocked. And the commentators were like, I don't think that ever. And I also want to point out that it's another goal against us where it's a set piece or right after a dead ball that we can't figure something out. We didn't close him down in time. And I mean, fair play. Who was covering him? I'm sure it was Amundsen or whatever, but
It had to be him or Yeboah.
yeah, I mean, he should have made the save. I thought it was going to be almost an own goal because I thought it bounced and hit off him or whatever. But
Schulte.
mm-hmm.
It hit his body. It looked like it hit his.
I think it hit his hand.
It did. It was
I thought
about
it,
6
hit
inches
his,
off the ground and kind of went
hit his-
under his elbow, shoulder area, and just
It kind of reminded me
Ball-
of it ended up going far post, but it kind of reminded me of that Manzier goal. Is that
for
Red
Red
Bull?
Bull.
Yeah.
They got that second goal late. We kind of had our left back was sleeping or whatever, and they just put one in. I think that was on a set piece as well. Same kind of vibe.
Yeah, unlucky. I'm just going to say unlucky. I don't think they. It's not like they
Unlucky,
didn't deserve
but
it.
as you said, yeah, right. As you said, the momentum was there.
Yeah, they had it, and as soon as that happened, I was like, all right, time for a drink. I was like, I wasn't going to drink, but now I'm going to.
I actually missed it at the stadium because I was going to the bathroom and getting a drink.
One or two.
At the same time. 2 drinks.
Said and.
2 drinks.
Out with the old, in with the new.
But I noticed, at the game and rewatching it, 33rd minute, the America fans start olaying because the crew is playing poorly at that point. For maybe the past 5-10 minutes, they were playing poorly.
Which felt you're absolutely correct. Because it felt like before I rewatched it, when I texted out, I was like, it felt like it was 35 minutes, 40 minutes, but it was just that 10-minute segment where we were just getting poured on. It wasn't as bad on second viewing. So, yeah. Yep.
And did we score before the half?
Oh yeah.
41st minute.
41st. Okay, talk
So-
through that one.
I was actually annoyed right before this because we had a free kick in our half of the field.
There was a
and
long line at the bathroom.
we didn't
At
we
no
didn't
number
even
2.
attempt. It was in our half of the field. We didn't attempt to do anything into the box. We played it short and ended up kicking the ball around, possessing it, but it ended up eventually leading to the goal. So we have a spell of possession there. America keeps clearing the ball. We end up recovering it, possessing it. They clear it again. The last time it happens, Zawadzki beats his man to the ball, and it's right about to go out of bounds. He taps it up the sideline to Farsi. He plays the ball from the right side of the field into Morera, who's just slightly more central than he is. Morera beats 2 defenders and makes a run into the box. As he's getting into the box, 2 other defenders are dragged towards him, which completely opens up Cucho, who he lays it off to. Cucho takes a touch, shoots with his right foot to the far side of the net past their keeper.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like it was awesome. And I think I put out there, I think the new number 10, you just slide Morera in there. Morera Zalayan. I mean, the fact that he's able to just like slice through everybody, flash forward to the 4th goal, like this is what we missed when he had to go to center back for that number of times, that him getting in the attacking third.
The central center back.
Exactly.
Because he's playing the right center back.
The attacking 5th.
The attacking one, yeah. The 2nd, 7th of the field. But yeah, that ball in, what happens is they're not ready to mark him because he's added to that final third. So when that guy steps, it leaves Cucho wide open. So the guy guarding Cucho moves, and it allows him to like trap the ball, literally have a second, and then place the ball. Like normally you don't have that in, because he was right around the 18.
Well, usually it's 4 or 5 guys around Cucho.
Yeah.
But Morera pulled them all to him. It's great.
And the fact, and to start that sequence was Cucho, and I thought he had lost the ball, and he was able to he did that a couple times this game, is re-win that ball or like do something, make something out of nothing, which is what we need, which is, what Zelarayan was doing. So
I think the biggest thing was it was able to turn the momentum as we went into halftime. Kind of put us on a level playing field and allowed us to come out on the front foot in the second half.
Yeah, we desperately needed that.
So let's jump to that. Let's just go right into that.
Cool.
Were there subs at the half?
No.
Not for us. I don't think there was any. Actually.
No, I do think that the possession was in the majority of them, probably, again, 60-30-ish.
We were in the 30s. I think it was, I wanted to jot down the time, but I just didn't have a pen. We had low possession, man.
Notes.
It was,
it ended 52-48.
Yeah. At one point it was, I think
second half
we
was
were at
100
like
to 0.
35% or so. It was, I was surprised to see that. I mean, it didn't feel that lopsided, but definitely not doing our usual 55-70 type possession ball.
Yeah, numbers don't
So,
matter. Well, did it deflate in the stadium, Hobbs? Did it feel like the Club America fans kind of chilled out? Because I did hear the Olays; they were pretty loud. All of a sudden, it was kind of like, "Uh-oh, okay."
I mean, I think we stopped that pretty quickly. But in the second half, I mean, they were back on top. I mean, 55th minute, they had a goal called back for offside. 61st minute, they had a goal called back for offside.
Yeah, but I rewatched both those. They were offside.
The second one was closer than the first one, but they were.
They were.
And actually, the second one they reviewed for quite a long time.
I still don't quite understand why they were reviewing that for such a long time. Like, after going back and seeing the replay on it, it kind of was pretty clear, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
he's dangerous up top, that Quinones.
Mm-hmm. But but that all being said, the fact that our back line was able to have that trap, like that offside trap, the entire time was impressive. considering like the personnel in there and the amount of different people playing in different positions back there.
Mhm.
It just,
And
it's unbelievably important when playing a team like this.
and both teams just high pressing throughout the entire game, essentially. I mean, there were moments where teams, I think the Crew slowed it down more than America would. But I guess in the 67th minute, the Crew were on a counterattack, and Ramirez plays the ball over the top to a streaking Matan. As he cuts in towards the box, he finds Farsi streaking up the field behind a run of Cucho's, so it leaves Farsi open because Cucho is dragging the defenders. He takes the ball into the Farsi takes the ball into the 6-yard box, and he's kind of taken out by the keeper as he's trying to stop with the ball. It was kind of sloppy, but the keeper takes him out.
He got tripped up. Yep.
I think it was enough contact for it to be called.
Yeah.
It was close.
Don't think he
Yeah.
touched him.
He got him. He got him.
He
dude.
got him.
He got him.
Did he?
His foot got
Yeah.
caught under his arm. His foot got caught under his arm.
Yeah.
He didn't
What?
knock him. He tripped it. He got tripped. Is like what happened.
Farsi was going
like the
away
pit.
from goal. He was faced away from the. Yeah.
Technically still with possession.
I got it
Right.
right. here. I'm looking
Sloppy
at it.
possession, but
You watched it again. Tell
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
It's
One of those that it's like, sure.
Yeah,
mean-
I don't even. Well, so I do want to say here at the end of the game, I did hit up Ivan who runs Eagle Eye, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'm not so sure about that penalty." And what did he say? He said something like super classy. It was like, "You win some, you lose some. It's fine." So ultimately, I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Now I feel better about that because normally, if the tables were turned and somebody like hit me up, I'd be like, "That's right. The MLS refs are terrible, and it's all Don Garber's fault."
Of course you would.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well,
But
so-
I was like, yeah, I appreciate that.
the penalty kick is taken by Cucho. It ends up being in the 69th minute.
Nice.
Takes it with his right foot, sends the keeper to his left, to the keeper's left, and shoots it to his right. And rewatching this, I found out that it was Cucho's first penalty attempt for the Crew, which I thought was crazy.
That can't be right.
No.
Well,
Per-
no, it is
He
right.
took the penalty.
Stat Matt said.
Per
That's right.
Edu and whoever the other guy was announcing.
The first penalty, he took the penalty
He just took one.
last
didn't he?
game.
I-
Right?
That's what I heard him say.
Listen, all right.
dude.
Apple broadcasters are never incorrect.
Oh,
So we're gonna call him
He-
Chiva.
Yeah, I didn't fact check that, but
Didn't he take
that's
the
what
one
they said.
against St.
he
Louis?
literally took the last one against St.
I
or
think
was it St.
pause
Louis?
what they said was that
Yeah,
was
St.
his
Louis.
first one. That was his first one. I think I
and
know
now
what you're
he's
talking
taking them. So I may have misheard it.
So this was
You were at
his
the game and
first
you
or
heard the
second
announcers?
one.
I said when I was rewatching it.
No, I know. I just
Ben's still mad
about.
that it
Ben's,
wasn't a
but
penalty.
Wallhouse
it was
is
not a
talking through
penalty.
that.
I just relooked at it and boy,
Why are you-
Oh boy, I don't know. You guys I don't know. Just rewatch it.
Listen, far weather fan.
Yeah,
Why do you guys?
we'll just call it a low kick. Low kicks, we know how those are.
I think I want to move on from far weather fan. Can we move on from that?
No, I still think it's funny.
All right.
Yeah, I still think it's funny.
All right. So
Anyways, yeah.
Cucho
Good take.
dispatches it. Good penalty.
It was a good penalty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a very good penalty.
69. Okay, so then what happened after that?
We made some subs in the 71st minute.
That's right.
Lots of subs.
Zawadski, Farsi, and Yaboa go off for Gressel, Chaburko, and Vallecia. Moreira moves to the middle of the center backs with Chaburko on his left, Vallecia on his right, and Gressel takes Farsi's spot.
Yeah.
Chiboa.
I thought
All right.
Sawatsky subbing off was weird. I thought he played really good. Like he put out a ton of fires early on. I mean, maybe it was like maybe he was gassed or something like that. Did anybody else
think-
see that? I mean, I just
I
kinda
mean,
well, that's
the
kinda
like
weird.
first minute where they almost scored on us, I think might have been a Zawadski error, and they got through the back.
No,
line a
that
few
was
other times.
we gave it
I-
away and we were up. Like
I
you
didn't
know,
have any issues with. I mean, this is more of a defensive type sub, but Vallecia played decent. Chaburka played well, and Gressel played really, really well. So I have no issues. And you know what? We need that depth, and that depth needs to be playing.
Yeah,
We got to get these guys playing. Yeah.
the fact that they came on and we continued to dominate, like that kind of started the
Right.
domination, was amazing. Because if you'd have told me before the game started, like, hey, Viacy is going to come on, Chaburka's going to come on, and Gress is going to come on, and we're going to dominate, I'd be like,
Well, not only that, but so 74th minute, they brought Dos Santos on.
who's awesome.
Yeah. And then Matt, in the 79th, who did we bring on?
Molino.
Kevin.
Which he
Camo.
played so well. Can we talk about that? Because as much as I want to
Listen,
throw shade,
last week you were like, get rid of him.
I didn't say that, but I agree with it.
Somebody did.
Oh yeah, we were paying him
was
like
more-
a ton of money,
maybe it was
and he
more.
came on and watching it and rewatching it. That guy did. I don't think he put a foot wrong when he came in. He was playing quick. He kind of fit the system. Has he really played in this system
No.
as like a?
Mm-mm.
I mean, he's almost like a number 10, kind of. I mean, he's not
I
like
think
Zeller Am, but he's like.
I want to
10.
speak for every Crew fan when I say we want Kevin Molino on the field.
Yes.
And we want Kevin
As in
Molino
healthy.
healthy. Yes, exactly.
That's the trouble, is the healthy part.
Yeah.
right. And that is,
Which is-
therein lies the problem with Kevin Molino.
Yeah.
It
Like,
scares me anytime he's on the
all
field.
four of his knees are
especially
just
when he
broken.
subs on, that he might get hurt enough to come off.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's like
fancy
he
little,
looks fantastic.
What's that fancy little cup you have there, Haas?
Just a little Jim Beam snifter,
Snifter.
whatever they're called.
I think that's right.
That's probably correct.
Snifter might be for like other things than bourbon, but
And what do you have floating in there? Is it like a little slice of orange or something?
no, it's just Elijah Craig.
Oh,
My fingers.
just a little man.
That
just a little man named Elijah.
The orange thing you're confusing are his fingers
floating.
floating.
hey, he's right, guys. He's right. Snifter.
Yeah, Molina was
uh,
great floating fingers.
Footed,
That's a great.
footed glass that is wide at the bottom and tapers to the top.
Oh wow.
Used for brandy and other drinks.
Matt Haas is a cultured man.
Sorry, guys. I got really distracted by his fancy little glass while we were
That's
talking
all right.
about that.
So Molino came in, and then
For Matan, which
yeah.
that's more of a like for like. He's kind of
no, that was good. And then Club America made 2
Brian Rodriguez of.
for Zendejas,
Mhm.
who played really well.
Really, I didn't think he played.
I thought he did.
Yeah,
And
their team is awesome. Like I definitely, I should have said this at the very beginning. Like Club America is probably the best team in the
sure.
them and Monterrey are the 2 best teams in period in Mexico, and historically. But they finished last because they have like 2 seasons per year, right? They finished second last session and they finished first the prior session, and they've spent more money this session to like, to double down and like take back the thing. So I mean, this is the best team in Mexico that plays probably the best style of soccer out of anybody in the Mexican league. And
Is
this
that because it's the same style we play?
I mean,
the best?
he plays a 4-2-3-1, but it's possession based. And they did look good at times, but they were so rattled after that second goal, and we just played our game, and it was beautiful. It was just beautiful. All right, so
we were saying they made 2 subs
Yeah.
in the
In the
80th.
80th.
One was the Zendejas, and
Brian
then
Rodriguez.
and
Lara
then
for
Alvarez
Alvarez.
came out for Lara, and then in the 81st minute we score again. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yep. Chaburko play well, and there's a little bit of build up before this, but essentially the play started when Chaburko plays a ball to Amundsen in behind on the left hand side. Amundsen crosses it, and Molino gets a touch in the box, and it sends the ball wide right of the goal, where Gressel is able to get on it and plays his first touch back across the 6-yard box. Molino almost gets it on the ground, but Ramirez is right there behind him to put it past 2 defenders on the goal line.
I mean, Gressel is we got him.
I feel like Farsi would have shot that.
Yeah, or turned it
and had
around
the
and
shot
got
blocked.
fouled. I mean, it's almost like he was in the same position that he was when he got fouled, and he got confused and turned around. I don't think Gressel probably has the, constant hustle bot energy that Farsi has, nailed it. I don't think he has the defensive chops as much, but that guy can, like, his offensive ability is absolutely phenomenal. He also played a ball prior to that like somehow missed, what was it, Cucho and Ramirez.
Cucho.
Yeah.
And he
like
turned around and they kept
Wait.
slow motion.
Let's say this. He didn't miss them. They missed the ball.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
It was a perfect ball.
Yeah, and I genuinely think that as
balls were
Gressel
great.
grows into this, like the last half of this season, he is going to have a heyday with Ramirez. Like Ramirez will be getting on the end of a lot of those. Like this is a taste of things to come, pretty much. Which is
All right.
Mortal Kombat.
Taste of
And
the balls he
then,
can provide.
Russell Rowe
Don't think
comes
that
on in 85th for Ramirez. And then
He didn't have his hair out. It was
His
I didn't know if he
his
had
hair
it
looks
cut or what. It was just a different
No.
view, I think.
He had braids in.
Yeah.
and he had a headband.
styled
Man, he looked.
differently.
I like that.
I thought it was
I saw that at the he displayed that at the I'll quickly talk about that. Yeah, the signing. I guess there was like it sold out. Like they oversold the signing.
It was busy.
And
It was
like
busy.
not everybody was able to like get signatures for the meet the team or whatever. But man, yeah. If nothing else, he looked good. Like literally,
Yes, he
like,
did.
He physically looked good.
And then we scored an additional time,
so he was attractive.
90 plus 3.
He's a strong man.
Moreira brings a clearance down in our defensive half.
Yep.
He takes it to the left side of the field and does a little give and go with Cucho, which sets Moreira free down the left side with pace. He goes at or he has a defender on his back, like chasing him down the whole time. He keeps driving forward, puts the ball on his left foot around a defender, and shoots it past their keeper.
Chips the keeper with his weak foot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. He has no business making that run. Like he's our center
He was
back.
making those runs all game.
But he
That was like the
switched to
fourth time he made that
switched
run.
to the center back, and then he's just. It's so weird. I just felt like he's like, I'm just gonna score now. Like it just felt like he's like, I got it, guys. I'm just gonna do this, and then he did it. And literally after he did it, he just stopped and crossed his arms and looked into the stands, and I was like, how he just dribbled that? He just took on Club America. Like, it was
And that was the
Chris
side of
Moreira.
the stadium where the most of their fans were.
There was, they threw some. I saw some stuff thrown, but
Well, he was mic'd up. Did you hear the mic up where he was running down the field and he said, "This game's going to be 3-1." Nope, 4-1.
I can't believe they mic'd that.
Yeah, that's all he said the whole game. More on that later when we talk about our predictions from last week. Let's cut over to Bird now and get the Crew 2 update, and then we'll do our prediction rundown. Get out of here. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, it's Carlos here. Thanks for having me back to the Crew 2 review, where I try to review 2 Crew 2 games in 2 minutes or less and always fail to meet that time frame. Well, at least there's not much to say about the first game of last week. We played Philly, the Cappies showed up without a substitute keeper for the third or fourth time this season, and this time it didn't go well. 6 minutes in, Stanislav Lapkes, who is usually great, got a red card. It wasn't his fault, it kind of was, nothing really to complain about there. So we saw midfielder turned center back, Clay Hosted, be turned again, and this time into a goalie. Now, Hosted had no previous keeper experience. He just seems like a reliable leader within the team. It's one of the guys who had the most experience since he played college soccer, so between the posts he went. And Clay Hosted ended up making some insane saves. And we ended up tying the first half 2-2. And every time he made one of those great saves, people would sing, I think it was brick walls are made of clay, brick walls are made of clay, which he eventually went to talk to the fans and to the Capi Brava and said he liked the chant. So that was really nice. Playing down a man with a midfielder goal eventually caught up to us, and the Cappies lost 6-2. After a quick turnaround, the boys traveled to Atlanta, and the game went much better. Captain Marco Micheleto is back to his MVP contender form, and we got to play with 11 men, including goalkeeper Brady Scott, who is back from a concussion. The two highlights of that game were seeing Taha Brun start and make some incredible moves in the midfield. The hype around him is warranted, but especially was seeing how well Laurent Courtois' team defended. Once again, the Cappies showed a level of tactical intelligence that is beyond what their opponents are able to match. When they click, they are unbeatable in this league. It's really, really cool to watch. Especially on defense, the Crew 2 gave Atlanta no space, managing to stop one of the best attacks in the league at their home turf. And the game ended 2-0 with goals by Taha and Gannon. And, this season has been a little bit more up and down the last season, but that was historic. But we're still playing really well and well positioned to make the playoffs and make a good run in the playoffs. So, yeah. Thanks for having me, and go Crew.
All right, thanks, Bird. Boy, we've covered it all. We just have to go back and do our predictions. So, Mort is not here, so we're gonna have to cover off on the predictions from last week, and then I guess we'll have to send him our predictions from this week so that
We
he
actually
can
asked
track
him
it
what
on
his
some.
prediction was, and I don't think he hasn't said anything yet.
But we do have his prediction from last week, and so I think it's worth revisiting that just so that he can have a few minutes on this episode. So let's cut over to that and hear his confident prediction for the Club America game.
If you look at some of his results, MLS is doing all right, except for Austin, which is awesome. So we go for 4-1 Crew, 4-1 Crew, 4-1 Crew, 4-4-4-4-4-4-4-4-4. No, 3-1.
Oh, he was so close. I will tell you that when they got the third goal, I was just thinking about that moment, cheering for them to score a fourth so that we could razz him about it.
Was Mort there going we want to keep it 3. We want to keep it 3.
We want 4. I mean 3. So nobody got it. I saw on our little graphic we were that my I was actually misrepresented. I said we were going to lose 0-2. Graphic said that we were going to win 2-0, but
yes, that was it. That was
so incorrect. I was way off. Although I wasn't so sure in the 35th minute or whatever. But
yes.
I think we all lost out, right? And we didn't have any. Yeah. We didn't have any listeners submit the right score either.
No, nobody got it correct. Yeah. So based on the what we predicted, like you said, you predicted a loss that didn't happen. Mort backpedaled to not getting it correct. In Haas were at 2-1, and Ben was a non-confident 2-2 tie, and supposedly a win on penalties, which didn't happen
and doesn't count. Nothing counts.
Okay, so let's look ahead. So no one won, so no one gets any weird stuff from Ben's house. But I did see that. I did see the package. One of the packages that you sent out to one of the winners from the St. Louis game.
Oh yeah,
that was awesome. There was like a Ken. Well, can you describe what went out?
I can't remember. I can't remember what I had originally.
It's on Twitter. It's on Twitter.
Yeah. I can't remember. It was a piece of paper, and it was like a Barbie meme or something like that, and I wrote "You're crew enough" or whatever instead of I can't remember what I did. I remember I had something else, and I printed it off, and I looked at it, and I was like, I can't send that. I can't send that. That's so I can't send that. But I did send them
in a flip comb. Yeah.
I sent them the switchblade flip comb. I found I had 3 of them. I was super into Dr. Disrespect at some point. So I had a bunch of, you guys probably don't know who that is, but I had it and I was like, all right, they're getting this, they're getting that with some coasters. So, I mean, for this one,
I need to get you stickers for sending out future.
I know.
I have a bunch of our stickers.
I know.
They're not as big as the coasters, but they are quality stickers.
Yeah, size matters. So, okay.
So let's do our Minnesota predictions here.
Can I quickly talk about our corner of the bracket?
Yeah.
For
No, and
moving
I
forward
was
in
like,
Sure.
I was kind of,
Champions
a
Cup?
little put off. Was there any information
Cup.
about the Leagues Cup bracket before the results started coming in? Like, I felt like I had no idea where we were, who we might
No.
play.
It was all in
I didn't
divisions.
I tried to look at it and I'm like, I don't know what this means.
It was so many groups because of the 3-team groups.
Yeah.
The information was there. I just didn't process it in time. But essentially, our corner of the bracket is Columbus versus Minnesota. We play the 4th at 8. Also, all of us play the 4th at 8. Toluca plays Kansas City. Chicago plays America. Cincinnati plays Nashville. So we have the potential to go up against America again in the quarterfinal, or Cincinnati in the quarterfinal if we advance.
Or Nashville.
Yes.
Wow.
Or Chicago.
I just thought it was interesting that we could play
Or
America
Topeka,
again.
Kansas, or whatever.
Toluca.
I kept thinking, I was like, yeah, it's Topeka, Kansas. That's where the tornadoes are at, or I don't know. Is it Topeka?
Topeka is the city in Kansas. Yes.
There's the joke.
Toluca is the team.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe.
Toluca is in Mexico.
We've talked about Twister on this podcast before. Okay. All
Good
right.
game.
And then, so just real quick, group stage standings. I just would like to know the Crew obviously won twice. Minnesota win and loss. Yes, what did they do? They lost to Chicago somehow, and then they
To be fair, we almost lost to Chicago.
No, we didn't. No, we almost tied.
Sorry, we almost
Chicago.
tied Chicago.
Yeah.
No, that
And
would feel like a
they
loss.
beat Puebla.
Yeah, 4-0.
Okay.
Oof.
Okay, so they were middle of their table, if you could call it that. It's more of like a
Oh man, and they have the guy that I
cocktail
kept
table.
talking about. His name's like Bongo Longwayne.
Yeah.
All right, we can go on. And they have Timo Pukki, which is actually a really good player. But
Yeah, Timo's good.
Bongo
And Will Trapp.
Cooley Longwayne. Man, should have got that guy.
Okay. So let's do it. What's the score going to be, Ben?
I'm gonna go 3-1 Crew. Feels pretty good.
How?
I mean 4-1.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. 3-1.
Hey, are they at LDC?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And
Because we won our group,
okay.
we get another home match.
Okay. And then I just want to take a minute and say how surprised I am that Mort has not submitted a prediction.
Yeah. He's a busy boy. I think he was on vacation all of last week, so he's playing catch up.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair enough.
Trey?
Ooh. All right. So I am going to go 2-1 Crew.
It's close. Boy.
Okay. Oz?
I'm feeling inspired by Mort, and I'm going 4-1 Crew.
Wow.
I'll take the 2-0 scoreline.
Crew.
And it's going to be great.
Yeah. And okay. So
Who
as
winning?
of now, it's what, 11:15. I'm checking all the socials. I don't see any signings or anything like that. So does it close at midnight, Haas? Do you know? If it's
24
I don't
hours.
know
second, or is it-
what time it closes.
Yeah, I think it is 24 hours from, or 25 hours from now.
Midnight Eastern
Yeah.
Correct.
So tomorrow.
on Wednesday.
So hopefully we'll see something tomorrow.
We could be way wrong on this. We are just making things up at this point, but I believe it is at the end of the day.
The blood
But we
moon.
are playing.
It closes at some point on the 2nd.
You guys said it's 8:00 on Friday, right?
But it's
that
your
right?
bull.
Okay. 8:00 Friday. And yeah, and so how do they decide home field advantage for future games? Is it based on your seed or your record?
I
or
think
do we know
we
that?
can have one more home game, is what I saw based on me purchasing tickets for Friday's match. I had the opportunity to pay for set up to pay for another match if we get another one.
You were
So that
allowed
would
to pay?
be-
Nice.
That would be the round of 16.
The one on the round of 16.
Yeah, round of 16.
Against either Toluca.
I don't know if we have
or-
to match up against a certain
Kansas
team,
City.
which of the two or what.
Okay.
Toluca or SKC.
We'll have another
Okay.
pod at some point, so we'll figure it out.
All right. Well, let's do it, guys. Let's just keep rocking out. We're gonna win it. We're gonna be. What is the winner? What do you call yourself if you're the league's
Cup champion?
the
I
coup?
think it's America's great. Make America great. The America's great again, right? 'Cause
Oh,
it's North and South America.
Oh no, it's Cup of the Match League.
There it is.
All right, guys, go Crew.
Go Crew!
Thanks everyone for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew!
You know, and Melissa's doing all right, except for Austin, which is awesome. So we go for 4-1 Crew. No, 3-1.
So quick.
Oh man, he could have won something from
poor
my
Morton.
house.